Welcome back, everybody. I have my Week 7 game picks for you. Matt could not join me this time. Hope to have him back next week. He has provided some inputs and helped me make some of these selections. I'll point those out as we go. Before we get into this, I wanted to point out where I think Ram fans' rooting interest should be. Now, granted, rooting does not change the outcome of games, obviously, but it's still good to know which outcomes benefit the Rams and which ones do not. So, again, this is sort of a path to the playoffs tangent here. There are going to be 4 divisional champions in the NFC advancing to the playoffs. Those will most likely be, at this point, the Lions, 49ers, Eagles, and pick a team from the NFC South. Probably the Bucs have a leg up right now, followed by the Saints and Falcons. I think any one of those 3 could end up winning that division. And then, of course, there'll be 3 wild cards. And in order of likelihood, right now, the 3 teams that I would pencil in right now would be the Cowboys, Seahawks, and Rams, but the Commanders, the Packers, and another team from the NFC South. If the Bucs win that division, maybe the Saints or Falcons make some noise and push for a wild card. So keep that in mind week to week as we move forward. And I'm not completely counting out a couple of other teams. Well, actually, maybe I am. We'll get to that another day. But there are my Rams up straight up picks for week 6. Doing pretty good, hanging with the so-called experts from what I have seen comparing to other results across the web. Let's go through these game picks here. Now the Jags at the Saints, that one's in the bag. Matt and I both picked the Jags. I think that was pretty much a consensus pick across the board, although the Saints almost pulled it out, didn't they? And that, again, is a good result for the Rams. An AFC team beating a supposed NFC contender, that works in the Rams' favor. And by the way, I'm saving the most interesting games for the end here. Bills at the Patriots, that's kind of a no-brainer. I'm still waiting for 1 week. Bill Belichick and his genius, his knowledge on the defensive side of the ball, helps his team pull out a win against a better team, but I'm giving up on the Patriots at this point. I'll take the Bills pretty easily at New England. Commanders at the Giants. Sam Howell versus who? Sam Howell's playing really well. We talked about this on one of our pods. Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, both questionable as I record this. So that means Tyrod Taylor and Matt Breida. I don't know. I really like the Commanders. They have a pretty good defense. Sam Howell is playing really, really well. And this is a game where we actually might prefer the Giants to win. The Giants are going nowhere. The Commanders have a shot at a wild card. I know it's early, but right now, they're going to be, if we feel like the Rams have a shot, then Commanders fans are going to feel like they have a shot as well at this point. And it could come down to a tiebreaker between the Rams and Commanders at this point. But taking the Commanders in that one. Next up, we have the Falcons at the Buccaneers. This is a game that's going to weed out, possibly weed out the Falcons as serious contenders. If the Buccaneers handle them pretty easily, then that would tell us a lot about that division. Desmond Ridder has really been struggling, and Baker Mayfield overthrew a couple of deep passes last week, which would have helped his team immensely. But so, I don't know, both coming off a loss. I'll take the Buccaneers at home. Browns at the Colts. So could this be a trap game for the Browns, coming off a big win over the Eagles, and then they go on the road to take on a Colts team that's without their starting quarterback? So it's going to be Gardner Minshew, who it seems to be great coming off the bench, not so great as a starter, and a really good Browns defense. So Jonathan Taylor, he's back. Last week, 8 rushes for 19 yards. Really solid Colts offensive line. I don't know. To me, everything points to the Browns. I see some people picking an upset here, but I'm going to stick with the favorite, the Browns. Cardinals at the Seahawks. Cardinals, man, they, 1 minute they look like, hey, this is a pretty good football team. Aren't we surprised? And then, the second half against the Rams, that was a pretty dreadful performance. Or the Rams just a lot better than we think. But I'll take the Seahawks at home. Cardinals going to have, actually, that could be a closer game than you think. You never know with these two teams. But I think with the home field advantage and the Cardinals, just can't put together, kind of like the Rams can't put together a solid 60 minutes of football. So the Seahawks bounce back with a win there. Packers at the Broncos. Is this an unappealing game or what? I think the Packers figure it out on the road. And this is another game we should be pulling for the Broncos. If the Broncos were to knock off the Packers, that's a really good thing for the Rams and Cardinals Seahawks, by the way. We should be pulling for the Cardinals in that one. But taking the Packers and Jordan Love over the Broncos and Russell Wilson, man, I don't think I'm going to watch that game at all. Chargers at the Chiefs. Now, these two teams, they play. It's usually must-see TV when these teams play. And I think the Chargers are going to give them a fight. They played a really good defense, Cowboys defense last week. They come back this week, go on the road to play I'm not going to be surprised at all if the Chargers win this game, but I got to pick the Chiefs. 49ers at the Vikings. And the 49ers are banged up, not practicing as of Thursday, not practicing. Aaron Banks, Dre Greenlaw, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and Trent Williams. That's a pretty good chunk of players, of important players on this 49ers roster. I'm still picking the 49ers, another game where I would not be surprised if the Vikings pulled out the win at home. They're without Justin Jefferson still, so that's the difference. If they had Justin Jefferson, I might even lean on the Vikings here. Raiders at the Bears. This is going to be Aiden O'Connell versus Tyson Bagent. Justin Fields could end up playing, but right now it doesn't look good. If Justin Fields plays, I take the Bears. If he doesn't, I take the Raiders. And I'm going to guess he doesn't play, so I'll take the Raiders in this one. This is another game where, between this game and the Packers-Broncos, not real excited to see that. Now the final two games and then the Rams game, the Lions at the Ravens, a possible Super Bowl preview. The Lions are the better balanced team, offense, defense, but the Ravens, they're well coached. They have, I think their defense is second ranked right now. Lions up there too. This could end up being a pretty low scoring game. Jared Goff has just been playing lights out. You've seen all the stuff on social media last 16, 17 games. Looks like statistically the best quarterback in the league. I know he isn't. Certainly top 10, though, top 5 perhaps. The Jared Goof narrative has been erased, hopefully. But I'm going to take the Ravens at home. When in doubt, take the home team. And I'm kind of going to do the same thing for the other potential Super Bowl preview, the Dolphins at the Eagles. This is going to be a really fun game, and it would be an excellent Super Bowl. Hey, if the Rams aren't there, I'm probably going to be pulling for this matchup. And this is a bad time to be catching the Eagles coming off that loss to the Browns. They're going to bounce back, and they're at home. So I'm going to take the Eagles. Would not be surprised if they lost. Would not be surprised at all. And the final game, Steelers at the Rams. Steelers are banged up a little bit. For a team coming off a bye, more banged up than you'd expect. They hope to get their tight end back. That's not going to happen, Pat Freiermuth. And, then TJ Watt comes up with a sore heel on Thursday. Do not see the updated injury report for Friday, so we'll find out more about that. I'm posting this on the YouTube channel on Friday. Might get this up on the pod later, in which case I will update it based on the injury reports. But I'm taking the Rams. I think the Steeler offense is going to struggle against this defense the way they're playing. Hey, Darion Kendrick could actually play, I guess. That would surprise me. That's going to put Sean McVay in a tough spot trying to explain that to a lot of people. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know. I don't have enough information. I certainly think, to be driving around Hollywood at 2 a.m. with a gun in your car after, a big win the previous day, hours earlier, really doesn't make any sense. What are you doing, Darion? But again, that's all I really know about it. So I'm not going to pass judgment on him. The Rams will take all the information they have and make a decision. And, the running back situation, that's going to be interesting. I was leaning towards Zach Evans and Myles Gaskin as getting the primary touches. I seem to be in the minority as far as Gaskin goes, so I could end up being wrong there. Maybe it's going to be more Royce Freeman. I'd really be surprised if Darrell Henderson was even active for this game, but hey, maybe he will be. And it's wise of the Rams to kind of keep that on the low down. Why give away any information to the opposition? So obviously the Rams, I think the Rams win. It's not going to be a runaway, a blowout, but they're going to win comfortably. I think my prediction was, I think my upcoming prediction is 23-16, something like that. 24-16. I think that's what I had it as. So there you have it. Those are my week 7 picks. Doing pretty good overall so far. We'll do this again next week. Hopefully have Matt back on. It's a lot more fun when he's on board. That's it for now for my Rams pick that's my Rams up, straight up week 7 picks.